Everybody can see me, hear me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, Vinita, we can.
Yeah. Start our class now. We'll start with the prayer. Close your eyes, palms together. Seek the blessing from your Guru, God, Goddesses. Once you feel your order, slowly open your eyes. As usual, our agenda is same. We are going to see the Gocharam first, then followed by the lessons. Then we are ending up with the discussion of the horoscope. Okay, let's see about it. Today's Gocharam. Chandra and the Sunny in the Meena, Guru in the Karka, Ketu in the Simha, Buddha in the Tula, Surya, Mangal and the Shukra in the Vrikshika, Ragu in the Kumbha. So when the Saturn and the Moon combines together, there is a difference will come. When the Sun comes, if it was the Krishna Paksha Chandra or the Shukla Paksha Chandra. This will give the different effects to any individual. Most of the time, the Shukla Paksha Chandra won't give you any kind of that much trouble in your life, but the Krishna Paksha Chandra will give you that kind of the struggle or some kind of an obstacle in your life. Okay, this is a Gocharam chart. How we can interpret like that when you combine against with your birth chart. If you have the combination of the Saturn and the Chandra, and the Gocharam is also having the same combination, then that is the very good time to understand yourself. That will give you the different life lessons in your life. Okay. Now let's see about the Pancham. Tidi is the Dasami, followed by the Ekadashi. Nakshatra is the Uttarabhadrapada, followed by the Revati. Karana, Taitalega, Raja, and the Manija. Yoga, Vajra, Siddhi, Vyatipada. Weekday is the Ravivara, Paksha is the Shukla Paksha. Okay, we are continuing our lessons with the fourth lord, Chaturadhipati, that is fourth lord. We are going to see what is the significance of the fourth lord. Then that significance is ruling by the fourth lord. Sorry, fourth house, whatever the significance, that is ruling by the fourth lord. Okay, what are the significance of the fourth house? Anybody remember? No, yes. Everybody can hear me, right?
Mother,
Yeah.
vehicle,
Mother.
property,
Okay, property.
happiness in this life.
Happiness in life. Your basic education. If you have the vehicles, real assets, already you told you. Already you said that. And the homeland, your social life, how you behave, how you are integrate with this social life. That is also described in the fourth house. Okay. Now, mainly it is for representing the Madhrusthana, that is your mother, homeland, happiness, your social life, vehicles, real estate, all assets comes under the picture. That means immovable assets. So, movable and immovable assets all together. So, basic education is importantly that the things you have to remember all the time. So, if you're not able to remember all the number of the significance of the fourth house, just remember home education and the conveyance. That's more than enough. Okay, we already saw about the fourth lord in the fourth lord in the first house. Okay, remember one thing: when the fourth lord sitting in any of the houses means that is one of the Kendra lord sitting in any one of the houses. Okay, so here fourth lord in the first house, that is the representing of the Jataka. It's definitely going to give that kind of the comforts to the individual. What is the fourth house will give? Assets, real estate, vehicles, everything. So this person don't need to struggle for that. He is born with all kind of the domestic comfort. Then comes into the fourth lord, the same. There are the many additional points you have to refer. And fourth lord in the second house. Second house is the Dhanasthana, and the Madhusthana Adhipati was sitting in the second house means the liquids assets, speech, family, whatever the thing. It was it's kind of you can manage properly. Okay, you have a luck from work from home. You have that kind of the luck. You have an ability to work from the home, or you can able to run a business from your home. Okay, the fourth lord in the second house. So, what is the simplified meaning was the money which is coming from the home. The home, you can run the business from your home or you will work from a home, it doesn't matter, but you have that kind of the luck. So, you combine it together. Fourth lord sitting in the second house means fourth lord is it is relevant with the home related stuff. And the second lord is the Dhanasthana. So, when combined together, how your money will come. The money will coming from using the resources of the home. So that's the crisp about it. Now let's see the fourth lord in the third house. So the third house we already know it's the ideas sthana. Your aim, ambition, courage, art, passion, your colleagues, neighborhood, communicate any kind of the communication. This is the significance of the third house in which the fourth lord was sitting. So these peoples are really good in communication and they led by an example simply but they led by an example because whatever the comforts which you have that was signified by the fourth house that lord itself is sitting in your third house which is the Dhairyasthana. So you definitely led by an example. Okay, now fourth lord in the fourth house, the fourth lord sitting in his own house itself. So definitely he will receive all kind of the social he's definitely have a wonderful social life and he will help others also, and very strong personality, very good character, and if he uses potential very well and he definitely will have the powerful political contacts. Okay, now let's getting into our today's class. Fourth lord in the fifth house. Okay, now we have to understand the fourth house. Again, I'm repeating the same thing only. What is the fourth house? Fourth house is your mother, real estate, vehicles, home, homeland, happiness. Everything comes under fourth house. Now let's see about the what is the fifth house. So that is whatever the things which we are going to acquire in the life. Then you may have the questions. The only the 6 or 7 points the fourth house is having? No, there are the plenty. But why we need to understand only the few things? If you remember these main points of the fourth house, then later point in time, when you are seeing n number of the horoscope, we can easily relate with that. Okay. So the fourth house, whatever the things which I said earlier, that Lord was sitting in the fifth house. Now we have to see what is the fifth house. Fifth house, it's about your thinking process, your creativity, your spontaneity, whatever the thing you consume. Consume is nothing but not only the consuming the child, the conceiving thought process, conceiving an idea, conceiving whatever things you have an ability to create. So any of the big project, it starts when only from the simple thought. Then that grows and grows, then ending up into a very large project. So that kind of the thought process, creativity, thinking, comes in all kind of the creativity. You name it, whatever in the world, any kind of the creativity comes under the fifth house, the spontaneity. The, the people who have an ability to do the action very spontaneous. Hmm? And amusement, gambling related stuff, and the humor related things comes under the fifth house. Anything which you want to be very much particular, calculative, analytical things comes under the fifth house. And mainly fifth house is for the Putrasthana. We already know about it. So this is the significance of the fifth house. Now the fourth house was sitting in it. Then what is going to happen here? most of the time these people maintain the harmonious relationship because the social life is also for the fourth house. When the fifth house was sitting, okay, anybody see there was a one great thing was happening here. What is that? Fourth and the fifth. Anybody can remember what is happening? The special combination of 4 and 5. Yes, no, no. Everybody was silent. Everybody can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
What is the Kendra houses?
159.
Kendra houses. 159 is
159.
correct, but what is the Kendra houses?
Oh,
You have
14710.
14710 is the Kendra. And
Uh-huh.
what is the 159? What is the 159? Trikona? Yes or no?
Trikona. Yeah.
Yes. So now what is happening here? The
Okay,
Kendra
Kendra Lord sitting in
in
Trikona.
the Trikona. Oh, this was a very good thing, right? Very, the auspiciousness was increased very well. Whatever the thing which is happening in the fourth and the fifth house, it's then going to be end in well only. Okay, they will have the harmonious social relationship. That means the social life is very good. They have an ability to maintain that. So some people may have the good social life in one phase of their lifetime. They may have in the teenage, they had a very good social life. The other have the adult age. The other have the in the elderly age. They have the good social life. But when the fourth lord was sitting in the fifth house, means they born with that. They definitely will have the social life in their entire lifetime. And they have an ability to self-made wealth, to produce the wealth, to have an able to earn the wealth. These people have the higher ability. And no, when the Kendra Lord was sitting in Tribuna, means comfortable life was it's already written in their fate. So when the Kendra Lord and the Trikona was combining means the comfort, and that too the fourth house is also for the comfortness. That Lord was sitting in your Trikona. So your comfortness is no question here. So definitely you will have a comfortable life. Very, very comfortable life. Okay. And importantly, the fifth house is also for the speculation, any kind of the gambling related stuff. Whatever the thing which is comes under speculation, fifth house related with that. And when the fourth lord sitting in the fifth house means they had luck with the speculation. You may see the people when they go for a lottery, for a simple lottery also they have an luck to win that. Or in any kind of the gambling business or any kind of the speculative business, regardless of the gambling. If you go with any kind of the thing which is there is a higher probability of the speculation is there, and the fourth lord sitting in the fifth house Jataka was entered there, and that luck is backing up there. Definitely they have the luck. Simply you can say luck with the speculation. They have definitely luck in the speculation. So this when this all the people are very good for doing the business in the share market. When because their mind was like that. You may think why you can't do that. No, you have that ability to deal with the kind of the speculation. Uh, if anyone was involving in a trading, their mindset was have an ability to cope up with it. The heartbeat, the rhythm in their body match with that kind of the business. Match with kind of what business? The speculative business. If it is goes up, they won't be the extreme happy. If it goes down, they won't be extreme sadness. They know how to mediate with that thing. Okay. The important these people are very good in it. Okay, then there is one tricky point will come. If the fourth house and the fifth house both are the Saturn house means the you may have the luck in the speculation, but with very delay. You have this kind of an understanding, right? Imagine a situation, this is your fourth house, this is your fifth house. This is the Saturn houses, right? This is for the Magara, this is for the Kumbha. And what is it meaning? You have the Tula Lagna. If you have the Tula Lagna, 4 and 5 fifth houses becomes your Saturn. Then imagine a situation, the Saturn Lord, who's fourth Lord in the fifth house. Who's the Lord here? Saturn, right? Yes or no?
Saturn.
Yeah. Then the fourth Lord in the fifth house means the luck with the speculation will come for sure. But when it will come, the process is very delayed. When it was coming, you won't feel it is the luck. Because when any kind of the luck when it is comes, it's not coming on time. When your ages are also mature, you believe that kind of the luck which comes by an experience. So here the luck was transformed into an experience. So for them, this is kind of a trick here. But when you find the chart again and again, you may find it when you see this kind of the fourth lord in the fifth house. But then again, is this everybody when I have the Tula Lagna people, the Saturn in my fifth house, is this the same scenario comes for everybody? The luck with speculation will come and delay to everybody? No, it doesn't. It's not like that. It depends on we have to see the entire birth chart altogether. But keep that in one mind. Keep that in mind. The Saturn have an ability to delay the process, whichever it is. The Graha, whichever it is in the Rashi, will do it for its work no matter what. Okay. But the point here is fourth lord in the fifth house means you definitely have the luck. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay. Anybody having the fourth lord in the fifth house?
Yes, Vinita, I have it.
Mm. Who's this?
Uh,
Reena. Mm. Rishabha Lagna, right?
yes, Taurus Lagna. And
Mm.
my fourth lord is uh, Sun, and
Mm.
it's in Virgo.
Okay, awesome. Anybody here?
Can you hear
No.
me?
Sun only or any other graha?
Sun and Mercury are in Virgo.
Sun and okay. So which one is exactly matching with you? Which is not?
Actually, comfortable life. It is.
Mm.
I mean, I've got everything, but I still like to work hard. I think that's another part of me. But yes,
Mm.
comfort from the background, I'm comfortable. And luck with speculation is definitely there because
Mm.
I've always, those lottery tickets and those small, small things, I've always been lucky. Like as a child, my mother bought some bonds for 4, 5 of us, my cousins and me. But I was the only one who got it. Then double or something small. Then once I found some money and I bought a lottery ticket and I got that. So small, small things I feel, it works for me.
Mm. Mm. What
And
about the self-made
yes,
wealth? This one?
not really. Not
Mm.
really. I won't
Mm.
say yes, but yes, I earned good money when I was working. So
Mm. Mm.
maybe that, but really not saved up like I won't say I've, made a lot, like not like that. And social relationships, yes, I like to maintain, but it doesn't
Mm.
always happen. I like to, I like one sees that if you get too close to somebody, it ends up in arguments. So I like to maintain it at a distance, at a professional level, and just keep it healthy and maintain that relationship. That's my idea, actually.
You're trying to maintain, but there is no
Yes, I
hormone
try
in
to,
the
but it doesn't
relationship.
always happen.
What is that?
I said I try to, but it doesn't always end up maintaining it. I mean, it
Mm.
has to be from
Mm.
both sides.
Okay, you remember the degree of the sun and the Mercury?
Sun and Mercury. 1 minute, my chart is right here. Mercury is 28
Mm.
and
Mercury.
Sun is 4.
Sun is
4.
4. Hmm.
Not convergent.
And what about here in the Simha? Any graha was here?
Where? In Leo, 1 minute. No. No, the ones we don't take into consideration, Venus and Pluto.
There is no graha in the fourth house, right?
No.
Yes.
Can you hear me? No, Avinita.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So I just want to understand what is the fourth house. You remember you were uh, mm, okay. What makes you happy? What if it was the fourth house was the sun? Okay. Normally, what makes you happy in your day to day life? Which thing makes you happy?
Mm-hmm. Something clean, very clean place makes me happy. And if my mother's happy, I'm very close to my mother. If she's happy, I'm happy. I have moon in my lagna, so and I live with her, so
Okay. Let's see. So this is the one point which you are not related, but every other thing you can able to relate, right? Okay, awesome. Anybody having the fourth lord in fifth house? Let's move into then fourth lord in the sixth house. Okay. Again, the fourth house with fourth house. I'm going to repeat the same thing again. It's about your mother, homeland, happiness in your life. Any kind of an asset. It can be real estate, vehicles. So it's all represented by the fourth house. Now, the whatever is signified by the fourth house, ruled by the fourth lord, who's sitting in the sixth house now. Okay. Okay. What is the fourth house means? It is the Kendra house. What is the sixth house means? Anybody?
Dostan.
Those.
Dostan.
Yeah. Now, let's see about the sixth house first. Now we know what is the fourth house. Now we have to see the what is sixth house. Anybody remember what is the sixth house is all about?
RRR.
Roga Runa Ripu.
So the renal cycle. Okay. It tells about your health and disease. It tells about your debts and whatever the loans which you had in your life. Tells about your enemies. So how you are going to deal with that in your life. And importantly, the sixth house is also tells about your competitiveness in your life. If anybody come and ask you, can I pass in this competitive exam? See the sixth house. If that will show you the greater strength, definitely anyone can achieve in their competitive exams. And it also tells about your success. It also tells about your services. What are the services? Whichever the job which you are doing in your daily life. It's all representing in the sixth house. Now, the fourth lord sitting in the sixth house, which is also representing all three main characters in your life. What is that? Your health, enemy, and the debts. The Kendra lord was sitting in the sixth house. One of the Kendra lord was sitting in the sixth house. Then how it is going to be? Possibly, these peoples are highly successful. When the fourth Kendra lord was sitting in the sixth house means highly successful. Then you may ask the question, Anita, I'm having the fourth lord in the sixth house, I'm not successful. Why? It depends upon the graha, which it depends upon the graha which is sitting in the sixth house. And the sixth, it also depends upon a Rashi which is sitting, it is also depends upon the Graha which is sitting in the sixth house. You understand this both differences, right? Yes, no.
Can you please repeat that last part you mentioned just now?
When the fourth lord sitting in the sixth house means here there is the two things were happening here. One is Rashi, that is the house, and another is the lord, who is the Graha, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's see about here. Now I imagine you have the Mesha Lagna. And who is your fourth lord?
Moon.
Moon is your fourth lord. And which is the sixth house?
The
Tula is
okay.
the sixth
Tula.
house. Now, moon was sitting here. Now, here you have to understand two things. One is the graha, another is the rasi factor. One thing, firstly, you have to think about the graha. Fourth lord in sixth house. We already know about this. The fourth lord, whose moon sitting in the sixth house. Now we have to consider the graha.
Seventh house,
The
ma'am.
graha can be any of the grahas. What is it?
That seventh house, ma'am.
Which is seven?
Moon sitting in seventh house.
Oh, did I? Sorry, my mistake. Uh, Sorry, thank you so much. Okay, the fourth lord, whose moon, which is sitting in the sixth house. So the first thing you have to consider the graha. Then you have to consider which rashi it was sitting. So what is that meaning? Now we see about the Mesh Lagna. Now imagine a situation. You have the Rishabh Lagna. So here the fourth house becomes the Simha Rasi. The sun was sitting in the Tula. This is the sixth house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Graha which is sitting in the sixth house, and both the things are the Grahas only, right? The common factor here is the sixth house. The common factor here is the fourth lord. But what is the difference here? Between these two chart, what is the difference here? The difference is the Graha which is placed and the Rashi which is placed. These are the two main factors, right?
Right. Right.
Yes or no? Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that one you have to consider. So the concept is simple. Fourth lord sitting in the sixth house. The concept is simple. When the Kendra Lord, one of the Kendra Lord, that is fourth Lord, sitting in the sixth house, which is the Dostana, general rule is these people becomes highly successful because the Kendra Lord was sitting in the sixth house, which is for the Jataka's competitiveness, the Jataka's success. Why we are mentioning it is in a highly successful? Because the sixth house is representing your success in your life. But when it becomes highly successful, the Kendra Lord was sitting in your sixth house. That's why these people becomes the highly successful peoples. Then you may ask the question, I have the fourth lord in the sixth house, then I didn't have this kind of the highly successful. I'm not this kind of the highly successful people. Why? Then you have to consider which graha, that is the fourth lord, and which rasi, that is the sixth house. Then you have to combine it together to find an answer. This concept is clear, right? The general
Yeah.
rule, this is the base idea. When the Kendra lord sitting in a sixth house, definitely these people are highly successful people. then you may ask a question, Vanta, I didn't have a job, but how come I become highly successful? But when the fourth lord sitting in a sixth house means if you see in your activity whatever the actions which you are doing, you definitely successful in every other way whichever actions you are doing. The nature is inbuilt in you that won't change. But the how much the quantity, how much it you coming out from you, that will differ. See, one person can achieve one to in a 1 to 10 skills they can achieve the 9 point, but the other person also having the same kind of the graha, same kind of the rasi, but they didn't have an ability to release their potential. They achieved the three, but it doesn't mean the quality is not in them. But what is the only factor it was obstacling in front of them? The obstacle here is they didn't have a courage, they didn't have an willpower to release that potential. That is the one main thing here. Okay, that's why we have to see. Okay, when we see the graha, when we see the rashi, what is going to represent? What is that going to representing for you? It is going to represent anyone's willpower, anyone's potential, anyone's ability to do that. Whether this person is ability to do that or not. Go and see the third house. The courage was there or not. See the third house. The willpower, how much the willpower they can have. So this all how we can find out based on the graha, based on the rashis. Okay. Now let's come into here. these people are becomes very much hospitable in nature. There's all the good host in every way. Okay, you can happily go to their home. It's their nature because the fourth Lord, who's the Lord for the social life, they they want to the fourth Lord is auspiciousness means the energy for that social life is increased. So the individual what they think they want to be harmony with the peoples which is surrounded by them. They definitely have the abundant support from near and dear. They have that ability and they had it luck. In literally, they have this kind of a blessing. And when the fourth lord in the sixth house means one thing will be here, possibility of away from the mother will be definitely for sure. When the fourth lord in the sixth house means uh, possibility of away from mother means in either way they can live separately or live in a different countries altogether. So the possibility of away from mother was sure. Then one may ask, okay, I'm living with my mother only. How can I? How? But my fourth lord in the sixth house. No, living next to each other means it doesn't mean you are very close with your mother. You may far in your mind level, you may far away from your mother, but still you are living together. That is also representing in your horoscope in other grahas. Okay. But the fourth lord in the sixth house literally giving a base idea. There is a possibility of away from your mother. Okay. This how you can ensure and you see the entire birth chart, you can easily find out. Okay. Let's see about. Okay, one good thing about the fourth lord in the sixth house, but the possibility of away from it is there. Okay, that was there. But what is it? You have the support from the maternal uncles. This is the good thing. When you can also get help, get support from the maternal uncles. It's a fourth lord in the sixth house. That is highly possible. Okay, this is not the rule which is set in the with certain stones, the possibility of away from mother. The probability is really high. 99% the possibility of away from mother was there. But if it was not there, then how it will affect? Okay, if you are not away from your mother, what is the other qualities of the sixth house? You may become enemy. You may get loan or you may involved into the debts because of your mother. You may get the loan because of your mother. So either way it will come. So the possibility of away from the mother, if it was not impacting in coming in your life, it is not happening in your life means then the other factors comes into picture. You may get the loan, you may get the medical expense of your mother. So either way, the sixth house will do its job because the graha was sitting, the fourth lord was sitting in the sixth house. That job will definitely will do. Okay. Anybody having fourth lord in sixth house? No?
I have, you already seen my chart, Satish.
Oh, oh, can you repeat one more time?
Yeah, sure.
Please. Sure.
Gemini ascendant, Midana Lagna,
Okay.
and my Mercury is in Rishika.
Along with the other two grahas, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
What are they?
Sun and Ketu.
So when we also see the sixth house thing, but which one is matching for you? Which one is not?
Um, so first point is okay. Second point, I'm not sure. It's not too high. It's only some average only. Not highly successful. It's only a little successful.
Mm, mm,
Acquaintances and
mm,
support from near and dear ones. It's like this. Anywhere I go and ask, they try to help me. That's it. But I have to approach.
mm.
Possibility of away from mother, not much. I'm only in my graduation, undergraduation, and my post graduation, I was away from my mother.
Mm.
Otherwise, I was
However,
mostly in my home.
I see. Fourth Lord is Mercury. Okay. How is your relationship with your mother? It's good.
Mother was very good. Only maybe in the later ages, I mean, the last years
No,
of
in
my
the
mother, it was
entire
very good.
lifetime.
Entire lifetime, it was very good. Only at the last
And
2 3 years, there was a my mother was a little away from the mood was always away.
hmm, okay. This one you may get whenever you needed only because the Ketu and the Sun was here. That is also giving an impact on you. But, okay, this is a wonderful example to see. See, when we see the fourth lord in the sixth house, we literally saw that. Okay, these are all the base rules. Fourth lord in the sixth house means definitely you become the success and you may a good host, possibly away from the mother. That is a base rule. But when you have the three more grahas in the same in the sixth house means this possibility may differ. You may get only any one of the points. So you don't need to entirely agree with this. But this is the base. You understand this one point, right? Imagine a situation, Satish. This is an imagination. Imagine not Satish, someone Mithuna Lagna, Mercury only in the sixth house. There is a higher possibility the fourth point to be matched. But for him, now the sun is also here, Ketu is also here. So I didn't remember his degree wise. So then the Graha combination is also speaks a lot. Then that is also you have to consider when you see the fourth lord in the sixth house scenario. So you understand this one point, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Now let's moving into fourth lord in the seventh house. Okay, this is the Bhavatva. Why? Now let's have an example. This is the Mesha Lagna. Fourth lord is the moon. Then the
Fourth
moon is
from fourth.
Fourth and fourth.
yeah. Fourth and fourth. Awesome. So this is the seventh house. So who's the lord? Fourth lord, moon. Moon is in the seventh. Yes. This is seven. And you can count from here. This comes as the fourth to the fourth. So that's why it's a Bhavatma. Now we know about the fourth lord. Fourth lord signifies your home, homeland, happiness, mother, real estate, vehicles. Everything comes under fourth lord. And the seventh house, what is that? Seventh house represents your spouse, partners, boss, client. This is all comes you whatever the gifts you receive. That is also seventh house. So when the fourth lord was sitting in the seventh house, we know the seventh house, we know the fourth house. So that means the Kendra Lord sitting in another Kendra Lord. Yes or no? This is one Kendra. This is another. And this is another. This is another. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now here, the fourth Lord in the seventh house. One of the Kendra Lord sitting in the another Kendra. So these people may have the. It's a kind of the also representing the Bhavat Bhavi.
So, ma'am, this Bhavat Bhava, you say we mean to say is the seventh house is really good, or the fourth house is good.
Fourth Lord in seventh house is good. So you combine it together.
That's
So
what this effect comes on the
the
relative to
Bhavadvam
the.
is a different word altogether. So why we say the Bhavadvam, it didn't say about it is the auspiciousness increased, the strength of that house. It didn't mean that. What is the Bhavadvam telling you? Mesha Lagna and the fourth lord is moon sitting in the seventh house. So Bhavadvam means this is your point. Start from here. This is the fourth house, right? Fourth to fourth house. That gives you Bhavadvam. Okay, it's a special thing. But it doesn't mean it is increase your auspiciousness. It increases strength of the house more. Which one increase the strength of the house? The grahas which present the aspect of the graha which is in the seventh house, that increase the strength. Is that okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now, when the fourth lord in the seventh house means they definitely have the good childhood. The fourth house is also for your basic education. So definitely you will, when it was sitting in the seventh house means it's good, and you definitely will have the good childhood. They definitely have the strong educational foundation. When the fourth lord sitting in the seventh house means both the things are in a good and Kendra houses. So they have a strong foundation. So what does it mean? You when you started your studies in earlier education, it's really cakewalk for you. But when it comes into our primary education, after your primary education, it's a little bit tough until you reach the higher studies. But for these peoples, the basic educations becomes the very great foundations for them. That is the foundation that will lead them to the successful life in the later stages. Okay? Because of the very great strong foundation, so even there are some of the students, they understand whatever they studied in the 12th standard after their graduation only. But when this kind of the peoples, whatever they study in the primary education, whatever they studied in the middle education, that becomes the strong foundation for them. That paves the way in the later life. They have the mindset of the entrepreneurs. No, not only the mindset, they have a skill set of the entrepreneurs. They have the power to create something, manage something, and put together, chain together everything to give us a product. And these people, because the seventh house, the fourth lord is sitting in the seventh house. The fourth house is also for your social life. The seventh house is for your any people which is opposite in front of you. So their public relation is really good and very much popular. And definitely they will have the luck with the home and the vehicles because the fourth lord was sitting in the seventh house. There is no doubt about it. The home and the vehicles, it becomes their luck. Acquire large assets, and when you see the one combination, fourth lord sitting in the seventh house, they acquire the large assets. They won't buy any of the land with the 1,000 square feet, 2,000 square feet. They buy the land only with the 5,000 square feet or 10,000 square feet, like that. They, because it come to them like that only. The large assets and land, they have the ability also, because of the mindset, because of the tendency which they want to do in their life, it leads them to buy this kind of a large assets or large property. Or later in their life, they have this ability. When the graha comes into that kind of the position, like your kocharam is also good, and your birth chart is like this, and the dashabudhi is also happening, acquiring the large assets it's definitely going to happen. Okay. And they have the strong support from their mother because the fourth lord was sitting in the seventh house, and definitely they will have the strong spouse. So the fourth lord in the seventh house is totally very good for every individual. Okay. Anybody having the fourth lord in seventh house? Yes, no, no. Okay. Let's move into the next one. Okay, now let's see about the fourth lord in the eighth house. Fourth lord, we already know about it. It's about your homeland, your social life, your real estate, vehicles, happiness. Everything comes under the fourth house. That lord was sitting in the eighth house. What is the special about the fourth house? Is fourth lord is the Kendra lord and sitting in the eighth house. Who's this? Eighth house is Dustana, right? Yes, no? Everybody can hear me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm. So, now, the eighth house is the hidden thing, or anything which is hidden in nature, any knowledge, any treasure, everything hidden in nature. That's signified by the eighth house. Your core vitality, your transformation. It's altogether the house of mystery. And longevity is also represented by the eighth house. Now, the fourth lord, who's the owner of your comfort, home comfortness, domestic comfort, now sitting in the eighth house, how it will be. Now, the fourth lord in the eighth house means considered as the fortunate, considered as the smooth and lucky in the childhood, in the earlier stage. Because the fourth lord in the eighth house means the fourth lord representing your child, earlier stage, the basic education stage. So this is profoundly fortunate. It becomes the cakewalk for them in their life. They have the ability to think, because when the fourth lord in the eighth house means the analytical skills, the thinking ability, they won't think in the people's normally the average people's can do. Their thinking level is reality. When they read the book, if the fourth lord in eighth house people reading the book, the other people are reading the books. There is the dimension is different. The depth is different. How they are understanding the skill was totally different from others. Okay. When the fourth lord in eighth house means the eighth house is an another meaning of the seekers. Who, but when here the seeking about what? The seeking about the truth, because the eighth house is it's a fount of occult science. And these peoples are the constant seeker of the truth. They want to. It's not only in their in their professional life. They seek the truth in every phase of their life. In everything, they seek the truth. Okay. Then about the foreign, there is a higher possibility foreign education, profession, or settlement, because of the 4 and 8 combinations are combined. There is a higher possibility or at least their education is in foreign or the profession, or they finally settled in the foreign itself. When the 4 and 8 combination was combined together, this will happen for sure. Okay, anybody who's having fourth lord in eighth house? Yes, no? No? Okay, then I will ask you to remember this. Now we are seeing the fourth lord in eighth house. We are seeing everything as a beautiful one. You have wonderful childhood. You have the thinking ability. You have the good analytical skills, and you are the seeker of the truth. And you have an ability or possibility of settling in a foreign. You make it in foreign education, profession, everything in the foreign. Remember this one. Now, when you see the fifth lord in the eighth house, sixth lord in the eighth house, then you will understand this difference. So keep this in mind. We will also see the third lord in the eighth house. We already saw the second lord in the eighth house, first lord in the eighth house. So combine it together and see, find out an answer. So there is a difference. I didn't mention the difference, but the fourth lord, because the Kendra lord was sitting in this eighth house, means it won't give you that kind of demerit in your life. But when the Lagna Lord was sitting in an eighth house, when Dhanasthanadipati was sitting in an eighth house, when the Idhyasthanadipati was sitting in an eighth house, what it will do? We already saw that. So do it as a homework and find out the answer. Okay. Third Lord sitting in the eighth house, second Lord sitting in an eighth house, Lagna Lord sitting in the eighth house. Okay. Now then you will find this wonderful answer. Wow. You may wonder, because I wondered. That's why I'm expressing like that. Now, later stages, we also going to see the fifth lord in eighth house, sixth lord in eighth house. But this moment, I make it as a one milestone. I ask you to make it as a one milestone to refer back and come back and see first, second, and three and four. Why I make you to make this one as a good milestone? This will give you a good perspective when you move forward to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That will give you a different perspective. And finally, we'll end up with the 9, 10, and 11, 12. That will give you the wholesome. Okay. Now let's move into. Okay, remember that homework. Now let's see. Okay, let's see about the 9 and 10 in the next week. We're moving into the horoscope session. Okay, we are still following with the Vasanti's horoscope only. Okay, let's quickly getting into here. Ascendant is the Karka Lagna. There was no Graha in the Lagna, and the Rashi is the Vrikshika Rashi. Now we saw already about the 5 houses. Now we are going to see about the sixth. I'm not wrong, it's 6th house only. Yes, it's 6th house. So we are going to see the 6th house. Before we getting into the 6th house, the few things we have to remember. Any grahas in the own house? Yes, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and the retrograde Saturn. Exalted is the Mercury, debilitated is the Moon. Rashi Parivartana is no. Yoga Parivartana is the Yoga Karaka is the Mars. So the Dashambadi is the Venus Dasha, Saturn Buddhi, Mercury and 4 and 11th house Lord, 7th and 8th house Lord. That is the Dasha and the Buddhi. Vakragraha is the Saturn, Combust is the Mercury, Paryadipati is the Buddha, Ashtamadipati is the Sunny, 6th house Lord is the Guru. Now we are going to see this only. Vadakadipati is the Venus, 11th house Lord. Maranakaraga, there was no Maranakaraga. So based on this knowledge, we're getting into the 6th house. We already remember I hope everybody remember the 5 houses of this horoscope. Now let's getting into the 6th house. 6th house is the Dhanu Rashi. Who's the Lord here? Jupiter is the Lord. And element is the fire element, dual in nature. So this is the male energy. Okay. And if you see, there was an A and U. A is the apoklima, U is the upachaya. So apoklima and upachaya combined together going to give you whatever the grahas in that house. It is going to give you both, because 6th is the dostana, 6th is the hidden house, in other words. So that is also apoklima, and upachaya sthana is whatever the graha which is in that upachaya sthana, it will give you the auspiciousness when your age grows, when you are matured in your ages, the auspiciousness is also increased. Okay, keep that in mind when we derive the answers. Okay, now I am going with the questions. So here, 6th house Lord, we already know that is the Jupiter, who owns the 6th house, and also which house here?
Ninth.
Yes, 9th house, right? Yeah, 9th house. Okay, if you really forgot the thing, see these numbers. The numbers is the house numbers. Or if you really hard to see these numbers, see this number. This number is the house number, first number. Okay. So 6th house Lord is the Guru. Guru is owned the another house, which is the which is the Meena Rashi, which is the 9th house for this Jataka. So that is the 6th house and 9th house owned by the Jupiter. Now we are going to see the Jupiter one. Sorry, 6th house only. Now anybody see where is the Jupiter in this Jataka?
The 12th house.
In the 12th house, yes. Okay. Now the 12th house is the Mithuna Rasi, and you remember the 12th house is also the Dostana. So this is one technique we saw this in the previous classes. What is that? We can relate that. 6th
Viparita
house is
Viparita Rajayoga.
Viparita Rajyoga. Awesome. So the 6th house, who's a Dostana, the Lord, which is a Dostana Lord Jupiter, which is sitting in the another Dostana, that is the 12th house. So this is the Viparita Rajyoga. We'll see that what is that happening here. So that is the Mithuna Rasi, who's the Lord here. Mercury is the Lord, and we already know Mercury is combust. So we are giving more attention to the Jupiter only. Okay, now let's see about the Jupiter. So we already know about this. Jupiter is the 6th and the 9th house Lord. 6th is the Dusthana. So this is a kind of the malefic. And the 9th house Lord is the Trikona, one of the Trikona. This is the benefit. So the Jupiter Lord is also the Lord for the two Rashi, Dusthana as well as the Trikona. Okay, then when we no need to see this, but for our better understanding, I make you to see this. This is the 12th house. 12th house, which is the Jupiter Graha is here, and which is having the three aspects. One is towards the 4th house, another is to the 6th house, and another to the 8th house. If you see this, the Jupiter, who's the Lord, is aspecting the same house. You understand this one point clear? Yes or no? Okay. Now let's see about this. What is the 6th house going to represent? It's about your health and disease, debts, any financial struggles, enemies, and the conflicts. What is that? Roga, Rena, Ripu. It's a triple R. Okay? And it's also about your service. So any low court cases, legal matters, that is also 6th house. And if you have, if you fond of pet animals, then that you can also see in your 6th house. Okay, now let's see about her horoscope. Now here there was no graha in it. So then what we have to do? We have to check the owner of the house. Who's the owner? Jupiter. Jupiter, where it was here? Jupiter in the 12th house. Now, when the 12th house, Jupiter was placed in the 12th house means 12th house, what is the 12th house is for? Your expense, any kind, it's a Virayadipati. The Virayasthana is a 12th house. Keep that in mind. So the 6th house lord in the 12th house means she may not encounter. Okay, let's talk about it one by one with her. Did you spend Vasadis here? No. Okay. Okay. Let's see about the. Let's see. The health and disease may not be. If the Jupiter was here, then it is not going to. It's give you that kind of an auspicious energy. It won't allow you to spend that kind of an expense towards the health and disease. Then the question will come. Then where the money will anyway the graha which is in that house, it is going to do that work. Then where it will go? Definitely the expense will be there. Then what kind of the expense? The expense will be towards the spirituality, towards the donation, towards the temple related stuff, towards any kind of the religious rituals. So the expense, no matter what, it will go, but in a different way. But the health related expense, disease related expense may be mitigated. It can be at least saturated at one point. It won't be that much. It will hit your life. It was not like that. The debt and financial struggles, it won't be cause it won't be that much of struggle in her life because the Jupiter is also aspecting. This is also the group will kind of uh, the debt can be the financial struggle can be there, but it won't be it's not suffocating. It will be can manage. Possibly the guru's expecting was there. The enemies may be that not that much aggressive, or you may not have conflict with others in a very aggressive manner. So the aggressive is there is no aggressiveness. Even though if you have an enemy, even though if you have a conflicts, it's a kind of an subtle way. But the 12th house, the 6th lord in the 12th house means there is a possibility you may have the hidden enemies even though their effect was really less upon you. You when the sixth lord in the 12th house, but here the services daily work means you definitely landed into a job without any kind of hard work. There is a higher possibility. Even if you are in a court cases, legal matters, it won't to drag you into a number of years. Possibility, even if you getting into a court cases or legal matters is also really less. Suppose in case if you enter into that kind of stuff, it won't affect in your it won't affect anything in your life. Okay, the pets and the small animals, I thought to give you a homework for everybody. Okay, the pets and animals. Now, as per my understanding, she may not have any pet animals because even though the Jupiter is only aspecting, there is no graha in it. My question here for everybody was if someone was having a pet animal, it can be a dog, it can be a cat, it can be a parrot, it can be anything, which horoscope can give an ability to have the pet animals in your life. And I already pointed the direction also. This is the mainly somewhat it was relating with the sixth house. So if the sixth house is not telling anything, then definitely you won't have a pet animals. Okay, anybody having pet animals in your home? Yes, no. Sometimes I really wonder, can you able to hear me?
No, no, no
No, no,
pets,
ma'am. No,
only
ma'am.
cockroaches. Only cockroaches.
Big cockroach is an enemy. Okay, we can leave it. So find out, consider it as a homework. Find out any of the people who having this pet and the small animals. If we can grab that horoscope, that was so beautiful. You can find, quickly take the look into the sixth house. Okay, so that will give you a lot and lots of answers.
Pet may be kept for a few years. How would you? It's not a permanent. I mean, it's not a long-term thing. Maybe for 2, 3 years.
The pet, the lifespan of the pet animals.
No, no. The
Uh,
pet may be kept only for few years, maybe 4, 5
yeah,
years in a
even
whole
for a single day, I'm
lifespan.
telling.
So
Even
how
for a
would
single, see, even for a single day, the pet can be in your fish also pet animals only. But the peoples who where when they
okay,
have that kind of an opportunity to connect with the pet animals, connect with the animals which they can live with them, they have the different kind of energy altogether. See, in some point in time,
okay,
I
okay,
didn't have an ability to touch any of the animal. Even there was one dog in my friend's home. That dog was really fond of me, and whenever I go, it walks behind me only. And if any other boss goes, it walks like anything. But I didn't have an courage to touch it, and I was really kind of an agitated. It's my energy level.
okay.
It's but the some other people. It seemed
Okay.
was for my friend. My friend was touching the dog like anything. She's really petting it very well. But that is a difference.
Okay,
The
okay.
people who can live with the pet animals and make the animal. There was another friend who can talk to any other dog just like anything, and he can interrupt the dog languages also, and he telling that, okay, this dog was communicating with the other street dog. Okay, that is the true craziness. There are the peoples like this. When you see their horoscope, the sixth
Okay.
house will
Get
tell
it.
you that kind of thing. Even if you are on a one for me, I can't live with the pets with for one day because I didn't have that kind of a tolerance. If you see my horoscope,
I
okay, I will
understand.
tell you. See, mine was like this. Mine is Tula Lagna, and which is my sixth house, Meena Rasi, right?
Meena Rashi, yeah.
Yeah.
There was no Graha in it.
So Jupiter. Look at Jupiter.
My Jupiter was in Lagna. And if you see that, I didn't have any courage to have pet animals, for sure. And I'm not sure, but the only thing I can go near, only animal is the cow only. Otherwise, I didn't have any kind of a courage to get near to any animals.
Third house, ma'am.
Third house is Chandra and the Ketu.
So dogs could be loving you probably. Ketu.
Mm, for me, no. So the sixth house will tell you everything. So for everybody can go and see the horoscope that will tell you different the story together. But if you find any people who having the pets, check the horoscope. That will give you a different understanding. Okay, then I quickly go to give me 5 minutes, 2 minutes only. I will stop the sharing and I share the text. Okay.
My sixth house is, ma'am, I have Sun, Ketu, and Mercury. I like animals, but I can't stay with them long. That's like it's like that. I cows,
Sun and
cats, Sun,
Sun
Ketu,
and
and Mercury.
Sun, Ketu, and Mercury. So, hmm,
But I love dogs and all those things. I can stay with, I mean, have fun with them for some time, not for long. That's it.
awesome. Okay, well, quickly we'll finish this in 2 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll find the grahas, finding grahas in everything. We're dealing with, there is the homework for the vessels. The vessels can be anything, right? In your home, it can be the gold, silver, or clay, brass, bronze. Nowadays, the so when it comes into the gold, it's Jupiter energy only. When it's a Jupiter energy, but the sun's energy is also included because of the kind of the royal thing. The sun's energy is also included. The silver mainly it is for the Venus and moon also here. So if you want to increase the moon's energy only, if you want to increase the moon's energy, uh, it take few coins of the silver coins 1 or 2 grams, 3 grams, 5 grams, and keep it in your bag. With that will give you the Venus energy as well as the moon's energy. So if you want to increase in your life. The copper is the sun and the Venus that will give you the mitigating the Martian energy. That's why the copper is the sun and the Venus. Some people will say it's also the Mars, but no, it's the sun and the Venus. Okay. The bronze is the combination of the copper and the tin. So that is the Mercury energy. It is the intellect, it increase the intellect, and when you have the food in the bronze is not good for the cooking. You can cook in a bronze, but it should not be prolonged cooking. But when you prefer for the prolonged cooking, go for another vessels like brass, clay pot, ceramic kind of the stuff. But the bronze is good for eating. When you have a food in the bronze plates, that will increase the intellectual in your mind. It will increase the strength in your nervous system. That's the main thing. It's the one important thing that I will do. It increase the strength in your nervous system. So that result in a good intellect, that result in a good speaking, good communication. Okay, iron is because of the heaviness. Saturn comes into the picture. That's also the strength. Bronze is the combination only, and that is the Mars energy. It's a kind of it channels your assertive energy. When you're cooking in the brass vessels, you can feel that. Cooking in another vessels, cooking in the brass vessels, it will give you the different experience altogether. And the clay is the moon because it's the eighth energy, Saturn, nourishment and stabilize. Two eyes, stabilizing. Okay, it's good. And for the simplicity, because of that, there's the Saturn. Wooden, it was a Jupiter and the benefic moon. Remember that is the benefic moon, natural because of that. Crystal, okay, crystal and the glass that are both are two different things. Okay, remember that. Crystal have the structure inside. The glass didn't have the structures. So when you see into the, if you're interested, go and see the gems related studies. When you see the crystals in the devices, which you can see the gems in the crystals, it will provide the structure. The structure was well defined, but in the glasses there was no structure. So the crystal is for mainly for the spiritual refinement kind of stuff. If you want to enhance your spirituality, enhance your energy level, protection kind of stuff, go for a crystal. Glass is a cooling effect will come. So the both the things will comes under the Venus and Moon, but there is a little bit difference was there. We'll tell you that later. Gold plate and tumbler. Obviously, we see that Jupiter and the Sun. Silver plate and the tumbler Moon. Okay, when the people are emotionally much more sensitive in nature. When they have the food in the silver plate, when they have the food in the tumblers, silver drinking in that silver tumblers, that will gives you the emotional stability, because the moon energy is stabilized. That will pacifies that kind of the sensitiveness. It leads them to steady their mind. Copper part, the sun, because of the healing energy. Nowadays, most of the people didn't have that kind of the copper pot. But the earlier days, they use the copper pot to store the water. Previous day, they stored the water. The very next day, they started drinking because of the energy of the water was cleansed inside the copper pot itself. It will give you the kind of the healing energy. Clay pot, again, moon and Saturn, nourishment and the simplicity. Bronze plate, okay, this is the Mercury. Which I already told you, to enhance the mental clarity and everything. The bronze kadai, the bronze is the combination of copper and the zinc. How the bronze is the combination of the copper and the tin, like bronze is the copper and the zinc. The Mars, and also the people will say it's Rahu's energy. The iron pan or a kadai, whatever it is, whichever the iron thing that you're using, it's a Saturn only. Wooden ladle and bowls, so Jupiter's energy. Glass bowl, it's a moon's energy. Okay, that's what I said earlier. The glass bowl and the crystal bowl, that is two different things. Okay, the glass bowls, you can use it for an ornamental purpose. You have the jewelries also in the glass. But the crystals, it's totally in a different perspective. It will heal you emotionally. It will heal you physically also. The crystal have that kind of the quality. Okay, brass colors means I remember everybody knows this. The colorism, in Tamil we call it as the colorism. Any kind of the puja you made the colorism in firstly, right? Initially, the peoples will have the brass pot and they they apply the turmeric paste on the coconut and put it on the top of the colors. But nowadays they modified everything, and now the brass colors will be, we can see in a different way. The brass colors is a kind of a sun and the Mars, and the silver colors was the moon and the Venus. Zinc is the Mercury because of the combination. Tin is the Jupiter, lead is the Saturn, but some people will say it is also a Ketu. I'm not sure which one it is. Steel, it's Rahu. Because that's have an ability to absorb the negative energy. Okay, that's all. And like the Satish, you can also enter your answer if you find out. Okay, next week what we can discuss. Dal and spices, or what is your preferences? Hmm? I'm speaking very fast. That's why you can't understand, or you understand everything. What is that silence? Oh,
Probably
okay.
no, we don't have the, I mean, ideas
Sorry.
on that. Ideas are, maybe ideas are not there. That's it.
Okay, we can go with the dal and the spices.
Yeah, ma'am. Sure.
Okay, awesome. Okay, the idea is simple. You look around, whichever you saw, make it as the title. Okay. Okay, that's all about today. Any questions? Or else we can wind up the class today.
I think that's it. That's it, ma'am. I think.
Okay, awesome. See
Okay.
you all next week. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Somebody was saying something?
No, we said thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Bye.